Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the world famous podcast, Beating the Press. Your two hosts, we've got Kristian wearing an England top for some reason. I thought it was a Beating the Press one, it's not. And myself, Ty, as well.
What are you wearing?
I am wearing a hoodie because it's freezing in May. That's why. Don't ask what I'm wearing, blame the weather. So this is a special. They're always a special with us too. It's a special on the Europa League. Obviously, Man United are playing Villareal. So we're going to have we say short and quick, but with us two, it generally isn't. So, this will be us talking about the Europa League Final, discussing it, previewing it, seeing what we think is going to happen. If this is the kind of thing you like, please do that fantastic thing of just below us. There should be a little bell. Click on that, subscribe, give it a like, give it a thumbs up, stick some comments in there. Make Chris happy because he's the one who bollocks me to do it every time, and I forget. But I don't, so I'm getting it in. So I get the smile and laugh.
Good lad, good lad. Cool.
So, Europa League Final, Chris, initial thoughts?
Yeah, I think United. I'm just going to put it out there straight away. Obviously, the news earlier today that Harry Maguire has been doing a little bit of running. I think there's a training session this evening whereby he's going to try and do some ball work. Now that to me does not sound like a player that's going to be playing tomorrow. Obviously, you want your best players to be playing, but if that's the situation where he's at the moment, I don't think you want him playing regardless. He's going to come on. You're probably going to ruin his chances of completing the game, and more importantly, obviously, the Euros for England fans. I do think they had. I did think they would quite easily win it with him in the back line. I do think that it's going to be a little bit more of a leveler. Now that he's not there, I can't see it going either way, but United tend to prove me wrong continually in Europa League. You think that they're going to struggle against certain teams. We think back to AC Milan and was it Ajax?
I thought,
Oh, no, sorry, it was AC Milan and Roma. They just turn them over quite convincingly. It's just when the key players kick in, like Pogba and in particular Pogba recently and Bruno Fernandes. They just seem to have a little bit of quality. Villareal, don't get me wrong, they're a quality side. Got a manager who knows the competition inside out. So it will be close, but I'm tipping my hat towards United. What about yourself?
Yeah, I think it's interesting the Maguire one, isn't it? Because it's like we know.
Sorry. I just want to jump in there. Don't you think his reputation has gone up ridiculously since he's been out injured for a couple of weeks?
Yeah. No, I absolutely agree. I mean, I just think that there's a few things that kind of, as a Liverpool fan, you can look to yourself and just sort of think, I told you so. So they're missing one centre half, and the whole world's about to collapse. But try and imagine being without 5 of your first choice centre half. So I just think that the whole thing with that is just. I mean, even if he plays, I mean, the issue for me isn't Man United having Maguire or not. The issue with me is for them is to be mentally tough enough to win a pressure game. They've obviously got semi-finals and finals before, and collapsed and bottled it. Solskjaer needs to show that. You're up against a manager, Unai Emery, who's that Europa League. I think the Europa trophy lives in his house, doesn't it? Rent-free. So yes, I mean, Villarreal are a good side. I think this is not going to be an easy game for Man United. I think he can go all the way as well. Extra time, penalties, a lot. For the listeners and viewers, me and Chris did apply to go to the final of the UEFA ballot thing. Gdansk. We didn't get in. I remember messaging him saying, "Chris, you fancy it? I'm going to put your name down." He's like, "Yeah, all right." And I don't know if we're going to win or not, but no, we didn't get on. But
we also have dropped out if we'd have actually won it, though.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I think it's quite a big moment for Solskjaer and his management, because this is a game where he's favourite. Generally, the other ones, the games have been quite close. The ones where he's lost in the semis, and I think it's a big moment this for Man United.
Do you think there'll be any kind of impact, whether he wins, loses, or do you think it'll just be what I'm saying is, I speak to a lot of Man United fans, and a lot of them are on the fence. Now, could this be potentially, him getting sacked if he doesn't win it?
No, I don't think he's never going to get. I mean, that's never going to get. He won't get sacked if they don't win this. They're in the top four. They're comfortable with that. They're happy with that. I just think for Man United's own belief, they need to win this. And even if they win it, it's like I mean, they're supposed to have had a brilliant season, yet they've only finished 5 points. Is it ahead of Liverpool? And Liverpool have had like the worst season ever. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah,
there's got to be a bit of understanding. I mean, United this season as well, it's not a normal season. You talk about the away record, but it's away record in front of no fans. It's just basically playing a neutral venue, so it doesn't really count. The game tomorrow, I think, is going to be different. It's going to be a lot more tactical. I'd be really interested to see how he plays with a three behind Cavani. Does he go with Pogba from the left, Pogba from the right, and then Fernandes, Rashford? Or does he go Pogba in one of the two midfielders slots? I think if he plays McTominay and Pogba, he's going to be looking to play on the front foot. Whereas when he plays McTominay and Fred, it's almost saying, Villarreal got more of a threat, so we're going to... Do you know what I mean? I think the makeup of the team is really interesting. I always get interested by, big games, how managers set their teams up and how they're going to play. So I'd be really interested to see how that looks tomorrow.
Yeah, that's that was actually the question I was going to ask you. What do you think he will go with? Do you think he'll go with Fred and McTominay? I'm just going to throw it out there that, if I'm a United fan, I don't want Fred and McTominay. You've seen what happened with a quality side. Obviously, I'm going to say Liverpool. They were just cut open quite easily. I don't think Fred is good enough in pressure moments and receiving the ball on the turn. Matt is just better than him at that, but Matt is not looking at the squad at the moment. I don't think he's going to get in there, and I just think they do need to play on the front foot. What about yourself?
Yeah, I think the Fred McTominay one, it's his go-to centre midfield partnership. Anytime there's a big game, he seems to think that'll give him a bit more defensive cover. We'll go Fred and McTominay. We'll play Fernandes plays the 10, Cavani plays the thingy. Right, where do we put the other lot in? Pogba. Well, we can't. Not going to change the whole formation. I'll put him out on the left. And that means Rashford's got to play out from the right, but you're messing everything up because Rashford's better from the left. And really, Pogba's not a right-sided wide player. Do you know what I mean? You're trying to put square pegs in round holes and it doesn't add up. But that's all because he wants to have that secure base of McTominay and Fred. Now, what will happen is if he starts with that team and they go goal down, Fred will be taken off, Pogba will come back in, put Greenwood on the right, and that'll have a lot more better shape to Man United. You've got Greenwood from the right, Rashford from the left, Fernandes behind Cavani with McTominay and Pogba. Is he brave enough? It does come down to bravery as well. And I know I've heard top managers always say this, and I've never Klopp said it as well. He said, to win games, you've got to play with risk. Now, that's the thing. It's like Man United obviously brilliant on the counter-attack. It's like, are you brave enough to get on the front foot and look to play? I just want to, just before you go in, I just want to pull you up on one thing you said. You said, they dominated Milan against Roma. Yeah, they were lucky to beat Milan. Milan were the better side in that game. Over both legs, I thought. And yeah, so I mean, they ended up with Pogba getting that goal and getting them through. I didn't think they were the better team there. So it's been an interesting campaign for them. And I just think Villarreal are not an easy side. I think they would have preferred to have played pretty much anyone apart from Villarreal, and especially against a manager who knows the competition inside out.
Yeah, at the time, I agreed with you at the time. AC Milan were the better team. I just always feel like United are comfortable, and they always just seem to have that little bit of luck that'll get them. It's just a United thing for me. That would always see them over the line against them. But I just wonder on the Harry Maguire thing. Do you think that'll impact the squad selection, like the midfield selection specifically? Like if Harry Maguire would have played, do you think Fred perhaps would take the back seat?
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. I think Maguire not playing probably means Fred's more likely to play to give him that more defensive cover and the player take more defensive responsibility. But I think Pogba has shown that he can be defensively resilient. And again, you're talking about Pogba's a good player. Do you know what I mean? And I think it's come down to bravery as a manager, isn't it? I mean, I'm a manager, and I know you pick players that you think can, because it's weird as a manager. I don't know how other top manager. I'm not a top manager by any stretch of the imagination. I always think, what's my team going to look like without the ball? Do you know how they're going to look like out of possession? Because in possession, you can sort of trust your players. You know, they're good on the ball. You know, they're creative. They're going to create chances. They're going to score goals. The game's obviously a huge part of it is out of possession and in transition. It's like out of possession, you've obviously got Fred and McTominay who are always going to be goal side, which gives you that extra cover. And they're more likely to be better in the transition as well. Like, is Pogba going to fucking bust his gut to run back to watch his recovery run compared to Fred? That sort of thing, I think you think as a manager. And that's probably what's, you know, what he'll be thinking about. And I saw Maguire's interview about the game against Croatia in the World Cup semi-final for England. He's on about, as a defender, and how it's got to be, you've got to be aggressive on the front foot, but there's risk with that as well, because obviously your front foot, the ball in behind, and there's more space, and but you've got to play that. That's how top teams play. You've got to be on the front foot. Now, the game changes when you don't have Maguire and you've got Bailly and Lindelof. You've got two players that neither of them are leaders, you know. And it's, you know, but they are centre halves, you know. But I'm just saying, you know, they should just be thankful they've got two fit centre halves. I mean, imagine having Phillips and Reece Williams in a Europa League final. You know what I mean? But no, I think it's an intriguing one, and I think Maguire is just a small piece of it. I think the other one I'll be interested to see is where he plays Pogba, and if he's really brave and drops Fred. But I think let's not forget. Go on, sorry.
Yeah, sorry. I think regardless Pogba starts, you know, there's no getting away from that. There's no way he can drop Pogba and keep him. You know, whether Man United have designs on actually keeping him, you know, don't know whether he's going to stay or go at the end of the season. Bearing in mind what you just said about the defensive shape, and obviously, you know, Villareal, no mugs. Do you think if you're Ole Gunnar Solskjaer tomorrow, do you play with the two in midfield? Because obviously that's going to be the big question. Are you going to play with the Fred and McTominay in midfield if you're Ole Gunnar Solskjaer tomorrow?
No, I'd go McTominay and Pogba, Fernandes just ahead, and then Greenwood, Rashford, and Cavani up top. Luke Shaw, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, and then Maguire or Bailly, whoever's there. And the keeper, I think Henderson's poor, and I think De Gea's poor. I think they've got a huge issue around keeper. I think Man United as a team have still got a lot more questions than they have answers. There's obviously a huge issue around the centre half. I think they're right back defensively brilliant, but this isn't 1994 where you just need to be defensively brilliant as a fullback. The game's changed. Your fullbacks are your outballs. You need to be giving you something in the final third for your team, and he doesn't give you anything. You play. I mean, Villarreal's tactic tomorrow will be let Wan-Bissaka have the ball because he's not going to hurt you. He'll give you back. I mean, the teams do that. We're laughing, but you watch Man United's games. Wan-Bissaka has it. They'll press. They'll have a set way of pressing, and their press will be to push it out to the right. So Wan-Bissaka gets it, let him get it back, and he'll do something stupid and get it back. So I think that's the question from. I think they've obviously got an issue on the right side of midfield, the central midfield. How does that look as well? I think they've got a few issues, you know, questions that they've got to answer. But it's a one-off game. I mean, anyone can win it, and I think Man United are obviously favourites, but I wouldn't be writing Villarreal off, you know, especially that man Unai Emery.
Yeah, like you, Wan-Bissaka, he seems to be the one that I would specifically target. You know, you've got what a lot of teams tend to do against United. I watched something a while back where they would basically take an overload on Man United's left-hand side, take the big switch over to Wan-Bissaka's side, and he tends to commit so much on helping his centre back out rather than actually staying with his own man. So yeah, that's the way I can see Villarreal winning the game. Do you think they'll go at United, or do you think it'll be a bit more of a patient?
No, I think you know, they are a front foot playing team. They've obviously beat Arsenal the last game, so they are no mugs in Arsenal. You know, and a one-off. Arsenal are decent as well. I mean, the midfield Capoue got sent off last game, didn't he? So they got Parejo really good in the ball. Their front lads are good. They got Paco Alcacer and Moreno, really good forwards. You know, and they're gonna if you even with Maguire, they're gonna be looking to really work you. Do you know what I mean? So I think, you know, there's a load of questions for Man United to answer. But I mean, that manager Unai Emery, I mean, I think I'd put he's one of the most underrated managers in world football. I know he didn't work out for that.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know, obviously Arsenal moved on now with Arteta. Do you think they made a bit of a mistake letting him go so early?
Absolutely. I mean, look, just compare him. What the results like. You know, Arteta seems to talk well and passionately, but what he does on the pitch is pretty poor. and his selection of keeping the players. And I think Unai Emery, it was probably, no, he didn't speak great English, and it was an easy job for the owners to get rid of him. And I think Unai Emery, you ask Arsenal fans, you'd have Emery back. I mean, if me, I don't have an affinity to Arsenal. I don't really bother which one goes in, but I think Emery's a better manager, and he's shown that over his career. Arteta's not even managed; he's Guardiola's mate. You know what I mean? That's his CV. But yeah,
just want your to wrap up. I just want your opinion on how the game will go and the score.
Oh wow, score! It's funny. I never get this where they ask you on TV what the score. I mean, how the fuck, if I knew what the score is, I'd put my mortgage on it. I don't know. I'm gonna go 1-1 extra time and Villareal to nick it 2-1 in ET.
It's almost like we're psychic, but I was just about to change it, but you went the opposite way. So I'm going to go 1-1 in extra time, and I think United will win it, and I think it'll be a Bruno Fernandes penalty.
Wow, call that as well. So, as always, question of the day for our listeners, viewers, is it's not a shock. What do you think is going to happen tonight? Who's going to win? Is it going to be Villareal or Man United? Scores, all that stuff downstairs. Let us know what you think is going to be the major turning point or major deciding factor in that game. As always, like, subscribe, and we always say if you've got this far, you might as well give it a like and subscribe, because we talk good shit.
Yeah, exactly. Just one last thing, Ty. Who do you want to win?
Oh, Villarreal. Absolutely, yeah. I am Man United, no chance. I'm a Liverpool fan. I've got no, fuck that all English stuff. Yeah. Crash and burn.
Brilliant. Okay, like I said, like, subscribe, all that good stuff down below. Thanks a lot, guys. Cheers.
See you.